So before we get into this video, I just wanted to mention that we did have a giveaway in the last video for the Battlefield 5 HP Omen benchmark, and nobody actually got to the end where it mentioned that we would be able to get the viewer bonus and the $20 gift card. But we'll probably do something like that again in the future. Who knows? So this video is just going to be mostly about unboxing the Avermedia Live Gamer 4K. So we're just going to go ahead and do the unboxing, and then we're going to install it and just take a quick look at the software and the functionality. So let's go ahead and get to unboxing. Hey, what's up YouTube? Enforcer5150 here. And if you're a gamer, streamer, or somebody that basically does recordings of games and everything, you might like this video. Mainly because I picked up a game capture card. It's a Avermedia Gamer or Live Gamer 4K. This one can do a lot of great things, and we're gonna do an unboxing here in just a second. The max pass-through resolutions, you get 2160p, and then that's 60 frames per second. We can get HDR with that, 1440p at 144 hertz or frames per second, and 1080p at 240 frames per second. Like if you're gonna have a video that does that many frames, it's not gonna be on YouTube because it limits it anyway. Your max recording, and this is kind of why I got this one, is that you can actually do the 2160 at 60 frames per second HDR. Definitely do some recordings from the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and stuff like that. It's an amazing card, and a lot of people use the Allegro ones. I know that one. I looked at that one, and it was actually a little bit more expensive, and I didn't understand that because it didn't have HDR. But then again, HDR isn't everything that we're going to be looking at. I don't have that particular capture card. This is one of probably my second card I've ever had. I had a external one before that was kind of generic. This one I am excited to get open, and I didn't have my box cutter with me, so let's get this thing open and see what we got. All right, I got a 20-foot cable of HDMI. That's mainly so that I can get all the way to the TV and stuff like that. I have another cable as well. It's actually a little bit longer than the one I wanted to do. And this is actually for my HTC Vive. And here we go. This is what we are here for today. So I don't know what the model number actually means on here. It has GC 573. Not sure what that's for. I'm just gonna get the plastic off this damn thing. If you see my last unboxing video, I for some reason have problems with plastic, and they have a problem with me. My room's a little bit of a mess today because I'm just unpacking stuff and getting everything. Anyway, so their box is actually pretty decent design. We're going to just list off some of the stuff that's on here. So you can do 4K, 60 frames per second HDR, video, full HD, 240 frames per second, and we can support H.265, which I don't think anybody can really support that right now. I mean, you can do it in Adobe, but uploading it to anything is going to be impossible because it's not going to be supported. It will also support 7.1 and 5.1 channel surround, which is actually good. It's a pass-through. I don't think it records it at that. It doesn't really say. But we'll also go through, see, our essential. So that's the software that you actually get with it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this opened up, and we're gonna look at the software as well right away, just so we can really dig into this amazing new capture card. And now I wanted to mention, if you've never used a capture card before, the rendering and everything does not happen on the capture card. You still need a computer that is decent. Obviously, you've seen any of my videos, you know that mine can do it. I have the 2700X in this one and the 2080, RTX 2080. So if you go with any other CPU, make sure it's a high end. Make sure you have maybe a 7 series Intel or something like that. Something that's going to be beefy enough to be able to handle it. You can probably get away with some of no, I wouldn't say any of the 4 series, like the 47. I think, maybe, yeah, you can probably be able to do the 4 series. I haven't had that one for a while. Anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and get these out here. They give you an HDI cable, and it looks like you only get about standard 6 foot. Yeah, we got about 6 foot, little generic. The one I bought is obviously a lot better, and it's why I went and bought that one. Hopefully we can get all this out of here. All right, so that is actually an amazing. That is actually a lot smaller than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a lot bigger, so this is going to be really great. So we're just gonna give a little bit of a view of this. There is RGB in this as well, and I will go ahead and show some other shots of this. I'm going to put in another camera here just to make sure that it gets seen. Like I said, you know, I kind of went with two cameras this time. It seems like there's a heat sink in there. Looks like it's doing all right. It'll work out. Other than that, we have the standard warranty information and user guide. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this thing installed. I'm gonna do a little bit of a video of installing it, and we're gonna do some of the take a quick look at the software. So let's get to it. So the first thing I noticed here was that the actual construction of this card is actually really good. The only problem that I was really having with it is that on the PCI Express slot, it was actually using, like, it had like a burn mark there, and that kind of worried me. It turned out to be nothing, so just to let you know, this is like total post video. But that part was really kind of freaking me out because it was, you know, it looks like it was burnt and like somebody put it in and it like shorted out or something like that. But I haven't had any problems with it yet, so I'm not really too worried about it. So basically, this card has a decent heat sink on it, and it doesn't get that hot. I was trying to check it out just to see how hot it gets. I don't have a heat gun yet, so anyway, my first problem I ran into was that I have a sideways graphics card, and to install this thing, you basically need to remove the card or really have tiny hands to be able to get behind it. If you've never installed a card before, you just want to make sure that nothing's in the way like I did here and have this little wire hanging out. That was really a bad thing. You just need to take out this thing if you have a sideways card, and once you get that out, basically it's pretty easy to install the card. My situation was a little messy, and I just didn't care too much after. But I removed the graphics card, just got that out of the way, and once we got that out of the way, it was actually a pretty smooth process of just putting the card in. I really don't recommend trying to put the card in with one hand while recording with the other. It's just probably not a good idea if it's the first time putting a card in. Anyway, being able to just put this in there and having a kind of a plug and play deal was decent. There was no extra drivers or anything like that, so I was actually kind of worried about that with anything and see if I had any, like, you know, driver conflicts with my graphics card or something like that. But it was actually a pretty smooth process. Got it in there, made sure it was nice and tight, and everything just kind of worked. After that, there was a few updates and stuff like that I had to go through, and you can get all that just by going to their website. They actually have the link that you can go directly to get to your specific card in the directions book, you know, quick start guide that they give you. So you just basically need to download it. It's a really small download. That part doesn't really take that long, but the problem, or I wouldn't say problem, but the part that took a long time was this. I had to speed this up to 3,000% because it took like 15 minutes to install the card itself. After the card was done, and I did a little bit of other things like, you know, update and stuff like that, and I had to enable DHCP, or disable it, excuse me, because it would say copy protected content or something like that. And I found out that you had to pretty much take that off to be able to get everything running. Anyway, with the card running itself, it did not do too bad right off the bat. I did end up having to restart a few times after, well, 2 other times for other updates. But all in all, it worked out pretty well. The preview screen, it seems really slow, but the recordings came out all right. I did have a few choppiness and stuff like that when I didn't restart, but it was mainly probably because I had other things running in the background that I really should have had closed off in the beginning. But after that, it was not that bad. And I almost forgot to mention the freaking RGB. For all you RGB fans out there, yes, this card does have RGB. With mine, it really doesn't make too much sense because the RGB is actually behind my graphics card. So you really don't see it that much, but it is there. If I had my card on its side, it would definitely look good. I'm actually thinking of changing it up so that I have the card on its side so you could actually see that. And I do need to mention that you do get the CyberLink Power Director 15. I don't know if this is a dumbed down version or just a regular one, but you do get it free with the game capture card. So, the fruit of our labor, we actually got everything running nice and smooth. The game actually came out fine, 4K from the PlayStation 4 Pro. The max frames per second on the PlayStation 4 Pro is 30 frames per second and 4K, so it's pretty good. In the console where it shows how many frames you're getting, it was actually running at 59 or whatever per second. So that's actually pretty good. Anyway, let me know what you think of this game capture card, and if you got one, if you have another one that you want me to try to review, it might be a little bit cheaper. I definitely like to look into that. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. Y'all take care and happy gaming.